The Versa is the smallest and least expensive car in Nissan's lineup. And if you're looking to downsize or move to a slightly smaller car for fuel economy or for tighter budget in the household, don't let the Versa deceive you. Unlike other subcompacts that can be cramped and uncomfortable, the Versa's not. If you're coming to the Versa for fuel economy alone, you might be a little bit disappointed. In the big picture of all cars, it does well, but among other smaller cars and subcompacts, it's a little disappointing. And with the fuel economy, you do get good acceleration. I mean, it's peppy, adequate, but you certainly wouldn't call this car quick. But it is responsive, and the shifts are smooth. It's a relatively refined engine. The ride is actually quite good. You almost feel like you're in a larger car. Soft suspension kind of takes up road disturbances, and the cabin is also relatively quiet. That soft suspension does come through in the handling, however. It's certainly not a car you would call agile. There's some body roll. Though the steering's nicely weighted, it's not what we would call responsive. And in our emergency maneuvers, the Versa does show a tendency to slide its tail out, and unfortunately, stability control is not offered. You sit kind of high up, so the visibility forward and to the sides actually feels pretty good. You have a nice view out, but the very thick pillars in the rear can really hinder visibility when you're merging or backing up. When you're inside the Versa, that's when its benefits really come to light. Though it's a little bit narrow, it actually feels very roomy. You're driving, you almost feel like you're in a minivan, not in a subcompact. And the seats are comfortable. They're soft, so over a long trip, they can give way a little bit. Interior fit and finish is nice materials on the seats and on the dash and armrests, and they fit well together, particularly for this class of car. And the controls are basic and easy to use with a few exceptions. There's no tune knob. You have to use these up and down arrows, and the recline adjustments on the inside, which can be a little awkward, takes some getting used to. In other subcompacts, you might really sacrifice rear seat room, but that's not the case at all in the Versa. Not only is it easy to get in and out of because of the high and square roofline, once you're in there, you really have tons of legroom and headroom. It's very, very nice. And child seats fit easily. Makes it a nice alternative for a small family, albeit the narrowness can make it very tight if you want to sit 3 people across. As far as cargo carrying ability, the Versa actually has a fairly roomy trunk. But unlike many cars in this class, the seat backs don't fold forward, so you don't have room to put a lot of longer items. So as you can see, while the Versa is not perfect, it actually gives you a lot of room in a relatively small package and makes you feel like you're driving a much larger car than you actually are.